Philip Mirowski, Never Let a Serious Crisis Go to Waste, How Neoliberalism Survived the Financial Meltdown. And Never Let a Serious Crisis Go to Waste, Philip Mirowski addresses the perplexing fact that neoliberalism survived the 2008 financial meltdown, despite the significant challenges it posed to societies worldwide. The book unravels how the proponents of free market policies took advantage of the crisis to reinforce their political and economic worldview. It digs deep into the origins and evolution of the neoliberal thought collective, NTC, and its key commandments that continue to shape today's societies. Through the analysis of concepts like agnotology, marketing, and the entrepreneurialism of the self, the book highlights the insidious ways that neoliberal ideas infiltrate and influence modern life.
The persistence of neoliberalism. Despite the global economic crisis of 2008, the neoliberal philosophy of free market economics remains stubbornly entrenched. In fact, proponents of neoliberalism have used the confusion around the crisis to reassert their worldview. This book explores the history of neoliberal thinking from the 1930s to the present day, revealing how it came to dominate mainstream economic thought and policy. It argues that policymakers and experts need to understand the flaws of neoliberal theory in order to move beyond the current crisis and create a more sustainable and equitable economic system. The Neoliberal Agenda. The book discusses the ideology of neoliberalism, which is a coalition of classical liberals, libertarians, neoconservatives, and many others who believe in a market-driven society. They hold that the market is a natural state of mankind, and the state must restructure itself to maximize its efficiency. This summary outlines the 13 commandments that define the neoliberal philosophy, including the belief that the market should be the guiding force for society, and corporations can do no wrong. They argue that democracy should be kept relatively impotent, and financial regulatory duties should be delegated to quasi-private entities and ratings agencies. Neoliberals promote an economic theory of democracy, redefine what it means to be a human person, and believe that freedom is based on market participation. They endorse global institutions to ensure the unrestricted movement of funds and argue that inequality is a necessary characteristic of ideal market systems. Neoliberals consider expanding incarceration a means of ensuring freedom and seek to have their neoliberal theories do dual service as a moral code. The book exposes how neoliberal ideology and policies have played a crucial role in causing financial crises and social inequality. Understanding neoliberalism. Neoliberalism is a pervasive concept in modern society that encourages the fragmentation of the self. The idea is to become a better version of yourself constantly, with the aim of becoming rich and never being labeled as poor or middle class. Neoliberalism personalizes and criminalizes poverty, making it seem like a personal problem rather than a systemic issue. To succeed in a neoliberal world, you must abide by market rules and take risks, but if you fail, it's your fault, not the market's. Marketing techniques are widely used to advance neoliberal interests. This book explores how much of modern life unfolds according to the neoliberal plan, from reality TV shows to credit scores and Facebook. The deceptive tactics of neoliberalism. Neoliberal economists have used agnotology or the intentional manufacture of public doubt to further their agenda and defend the status quo. They have spread disinformation about the financial crisis, austerity, unemployment insurance, and bank bailouts, and by doing so, they have successfully instilled their version of the truth. The danger of agnotology lies in its ability to deceive the public and undermine common truths to insinuate a sharply targeted narrative into the public debate. Neoliberalism and its advocates have not only failed to see the crisis coming but also used it to further their cause. Neoliberal economists have been touting their doctrine for decades, insisting that free markets and less government will right the economy's ship. They bolstered their claim by spreading it through different media sources. Unfortunately, many people have internalized these views as gospel. Neoliberalism needs to be understood as a pluralistic field, and its advocates have taken advantage of the crisis and its aftermath to advance their agenda through agnotology. This process works within various aspects of society to disseminate misinformation for specific political motives. Neoliberal finance think tanks spread disinformation, including the idea that orthodox economic theory was right all along because markets can never be wrong. Agnotology is more refined than simple propaganda, and its goal is to create confusion about the truth. Neoliberal economists and think tanks have spun disinformation to the media about the financial crisis, blaming it on Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and government bureaucrats, to keep the state out of financial markets and the public in the neoliberals' line. Furthermore, other agnotological memes include the need for austerity to spur economic growth, the belief that unemployment insurance keeps people from looking for jobs, and the view that the U.S. bank bailouts were cost-neutral to taxpayers. These deceptive tactics have successfully instilled their version of the truth within the public debate. The real danger of agnotology lies in its ability to deceive the public and undermine common truths. It creates excessive noise from seemingly authoritative sources, paving the way for inevitability. The world needs to be cautioned about the deceptive tactics of neoliberal economics and the dangers they pose. The Neoliberal Playbook. The book reveals how even those who oppose the current system's flaws, like the Occupy movement and the Tea Party, unknowingly follow the neoliberal playbook. Despite the cognitive dissonance of facts against ideology, neoliberals persevered and kept orthodox economics and the financial sector intact, ensuring their singular achievement in the post-crisis environment. Further, the NTC has manufactured ignorance through smoke screens and doubts that immobilize any concrete response to climate change. Additionally, they have commercialized protest movements, applied marketing to politics, and perfected the neoliberal playbook by resorting to short-term denialism, medium-term imposition of state-sponsored markets, and long-term recruitment of entrepreneurs for exploring blue-sky projects. This book showcases how the neoliberalism has already taken root in society's culture.
As Mirowski demonstrates, neoliberalism has not only survived the 2008 crisis but has further entrenched itself in politics, economics, and social life. Despite evidence that contradicts its efficiency, neoliberalism remains strong and adapts to new challenges, ensuring the status quo remains in place. This resilience can be attributed to its ability to cling to its worldview amidst contrary evidence, its effective use of doubt and confusion through agnotology and marketing, and its pervasive presence in everyday culture. In understanding the power and adaptability of neoliberalism, we become better equipped to recognize and counteract its effects on society and our lives.